Welcome back to Somewhat Saved.
We're getting good at that.
I know, I like that. That's our intro every week.
So we look at each other, inhale.
Big deep breath.
And we're
release.
Here we are.
All right.
All right.
This week.
Imposter syndrome.
It's a long awaited for topic.
I'm
Very popular.
very excited about this one, which is kind of a weird one to be excited about.
Yeah.
But it's something we talk about a lot.
Yeah.
With a lot of different women.
Yeah. In all different stages and
Mm-hmm.
ages and and
like,
groups.
This is the thing that affects so many people. Like the amount of people that we together have talked to about this. And then like, it's crazy.
No, it's been a lot. And there's been a lot of like meetings where like all women meetings where we'll be like all talking about it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Not about the meeting at all.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah. So I'm excited that we're talking about it.
Me too.
See how fired up we get.
Yeah, I was saying that I feel like the eldest daughter episode, if you haven't listened to that one, we were joking on it that it made us a little mad while we were processing and going through the questions. And I think this one kind of did the same thing. So good or bad, we're going to get real.
Here we are.
Yep. All right. When was the last time you felt like you didn't belong in a room where you were clearly qualified?
Probably like 2 days ago.
That's crazy.
I don't know. It happens so often. Like when I was thinking about this one, I was like, it happens almost every day.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can't think of a specific time, but you'll just be sitting there being like, why am I here? They're not listening to me.
Yeah. I feel like there's been so many times that I've been invited into a room or a meeting or just even a place. And I'm like, I don't feel like my presence was welcomed. I just feel like they needed a number or a body or a woman or, and then I'm like, oh, I do belong here. But why was I invited? They obviously don't think that. So, yeah. I feel like I agree. I don't think I've ever. I don't know.
And maybe that's my insecurities, but I think that it's more generalized than that.
It's more frequent. Yeah, for sure. Do you feel like an imposter more in new spaces or in spaces you've been for a while?
I think it's in spaces I've been in for a while. I think in new spaces, I just come in confident being like, no, I belong here. And then they'll say something or do something. I'm like, oh, wait, no, I don't.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I think the same thing.
Yeah.
I feel like in new spaces, I was just like, oh, I don't feel like I need to take control. I don't feel like I need to prove myself. I just feel like I'm listening, leaning back, asking questions.
Yeah, that's so weird.
And then it's like a place that you've been for a long time. You like puff up and you're like, wait, I do
prove
belong
myself.
here.
Yeah.
Why are they talking to me like that? Yeah.
I belong here, you don't.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree. I'm just like, oh, that's weird.
No, that's what we've been on.
What do you think people would find out about you if they really knew you?
I think that I come off as somebody who doesn't care. And then they realize that I do care. And that usually comes out after they've hurt me. Being like, oh, she really did want that or care about that or think that was important.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe it's not necessarily that I don't care, but I think that people are surprised when I do come in hot, being like, oh, that was a trigger of something that was important for Kaya.
You know what's interesting, though, is every time that's happened to you, they're always like, well, why didn't you just tell us?
Yeah.
And I think that's such a weird response because maybe this is the part that makes, this is like female rage coming out now. But I'm like, that's so frustrating because if you would have told them that you cared before or like you would have been emotional beforehand, 9 times out of 10 they would have been like, you're too emotional, you want it too bad.
Yeah.
So like, what are you supposed to do?
They push us to this point.
Yeah, because I'm like, yeah, that's true. Like you definitely don't share that side with everybody.
Yeah.
But if you did, there's like this other risk of judgment or disqualification.
Just an emotional woman.
Yeah. Ugh. No, I feel like for me, I think I was asking Dustin what he thought because I was like, I don't actually know. I'm a pretty open book and I feel like everyone knows everything about me. But I do feel like the more you get to know me, the more there's layers to me. So like you've probably heard that I've done pageants and like you've probably heard that I worked in ministry for a long time, but like childhood abuse or childhood trauma or like that I'm sober. Like all these layers come out. Like all of them individually are like, wow, that's cool. But then all together you're like, oh, that girl's messed up. Yeah. So I do think like for me, I try to hide that part. I try not to do it all at once. Yeah. Like you'll like slowly get to know me.
Slowly.
Yeah. Otherwise it just feels kind of like a trauma dump.
Yeah.
And so I'm just scared I think I'm scared that they'll find that out. They'll be like, oh, she's really broken. And I am. And I don't have any shame about it, but it is definitely something that I'm like.
Yeah, you don't want people to think, oh, Brittany's not capable because she has all this trauma or bad experience.
It's like, am I scared of them finding out because I'm scared that it'll disqualify me? Yeah.
Kind of let them in slowly.
Slowly show them. Do you feel like you have to perform to maintain how people see you?
Yeah. Yeah. I think every woman would say yes instantly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
Like, that's just, if you're a woman with any type of influence or leadership, you have to come in performing not as a man, but like to appease the men. Like, like in a way that's not going to make them feel inferior or that you're not capable, or
you can't show them your emotions all at once because you'll be too emotional. You can't tell them all of your trauma because you'll be too broken. Yeah.
You can't get mad because then they just think you're
reactive.
Yep. That's the box I put myself in. They're like, Kai's just always angry about something. I'm like, no. It's just
the amount of fights that I'm like labeled for. All she does is start fights. Well, don't give me anything to fight you on. What are you talking about?
Things can just be a conversation where we disagree and we talk about it.
I don't want to fight with you either. Yeah. You think I want to walk away and be like,
I'll cry in my car?
We can actually be friends. Okay. Yeah, I definitely feel like you have to perform because I feel like otherwise all those things come out.
Yeah.
And they just bleed out.
Yeah. Well, and it's so crazy because like either you're too angry, you're too emotional. Like you can't be those things.
You're too robotic.
Yeah, you can't be those things at the same time.
No, that's what's also confusing because it's like, don't show emotions because this is like, I saw this girl on TikTok the other day. Maybe I'll share it on her Instagram if I can. I don't know if I can do that. I think I can. I'll figure it out. Yeah. But I showed Dustin it too. It was like slam poetry. Like she literally was like, smile more, pay the bills, government, bleed, be happy, don't cry too much. Like it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, this is literally what it's like to be a woman because you're just being told all these different things. And it's like, that's why we feel like we have to perform all the time. And we don't even know what we're trying to perform for. Like,
it's learning what the people that you're performing for want from you.
That's why women are adaptable.
Yeah,
women are adaptable because we have to be.
You have to be a different person for every single.
Yeah.
Mostly men that you interact with.
Yeah. Most women get it. Like you sit down and talk to a woman and that's where we've had these conversations. Is they're like, isn't that so annoying? Like you shut the door and it's a room full of women and they're like, ugh.
Yeah. You can finally breathe.
Yeah. And they're like, gosh.
They're not rolling their eyes when you're like, oh, I was on my period during that. They're like, oh, that sucks. Like, you're not like, ew, suck it up. Like, you know.
Yeah, too bad. Like, whatever. Yeah, no, we get it.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you have to prove why you're in the room even if no one asked you to? That kind of goes off of that.
Yeah. I think it's the same reasons why you're performing. You feel...
And it goes back to that initial imposter syndrome of like, I don't belong in this room. And then you realize that you do belong in this room. And usually I feel like when a woman puffs up in a meeting, it's because she was publicly made to feel inferior. Yep. The only time I've ever seen a woman snap in a meeting or speak up in a meeting or cry in a meeting or even get mad and like any reaction that a woman has in a meeting, 10 times out of 10, if you take a second to look around that room of what happened, someone just belittled her publicly and that's why she snapped. Like there's no reason. I've never been in a meeting with a bunch of women and had a woman snap like that. Because nobody does that. And or they'll be like, ooh, I didn't mean to do that. Like what just happened? And they like take a second. Like women are so different. Like women will be like, hold on, pause. Like
we hit something.
Something happened. Why are we crying? Like we acknowledge it. We don't just ignore it. And I feel like, I don't know. Yeah. If you do it in a room full of men, it's like, do you ever feel like you're one mistake away from being exposed?
Yeah. My favorite line to say is, I'm going to get fired. That's for something like dumb things. Being like, I left my boxes and I didn't put them where they needed to go. I'm like, I'm going to get fired.
Yeah.
like just dumb.
That's
things.
Crazy.
It's my favorite line to use.
You could never. I don't think it's even possible for you to even be on the radar of a list of people to be fired.
But that's what imposter, like, it's not a real thing.
Yeah.
It's just
how you're made to feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
so
real.
at any given second, one mistake away from whatever exposure.
Yeah, I definitely feel that, because I think this goes back to my anger. I feel like my female rage is what gets exposed. And I do feel like my mistake or someone else's mistake, I do fear that those things will make that snap.
Yeah.
I feel like oftentimes in my job before, it was, if I made a mistake, it was the end of the world. If someone else made a mistake, it wasn't. And that felt very unjust to me. And so I felt like their mistake actually made me one step closer to exposing how mad I would be.
Yeah.
And then it was like, calm down. It doesn't even matter. Like, you're held to a different standard. And it's like, well, yeah. That's what I'm mad about.
Yeah. It's like when you're high functioning and you're an achiever and you get things done, and then if you let anything slip, it's called out. But there's people who aren't to your level who let things slip all the time and they're never called out.
And that creates imposter syndrome of its own, because you're like, I'm not good enough. Clearly it's me.
Yeah. I'm working my butt off over here and they just get to joke around all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. half this podcast is just going to be me going, ugh. Now, keep in mind, I have a very expressive 2-year-old, so I do feel a little bit like my attitude is showing from her right now. Like her walking around the house being like, ugh. It's like coming out of me. That's all I interact with.
Like that, though.
Yeah. Do you feel like as a woman that there's sometimes an unspoken limit to how much space you're allowed to take up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's when we are invited into the room, it's how real can I be? How much of myself can I be? How do I need to show up in this space for this to go okay? Every room that a woman walks into, it's figuring out how big you're allowed to be.
Yeah. Last week we talked about in our episode how there's usually one woman in the room, at least one, but usually it's just one. If there's just like a leading team or a leading group, there's usually just one. There's not a lot of times that you'll see 2 or 3. It's always, but there's at least one in 2026. We've made that much progress. But I do feel like it is hard, because when there is only one in those kinds of settings, it makes you feel like whoever that one is the cap of like what capacity can you take up, like whoever that woman is. And unfortunately the weight is on that person, because if they're not vocal publicly, or they're not expressive in meetings, or they're not, I don't know, if they're not justice driven outwardly, then you do think your cap has to be quieter or more meek or more put together. And I think the louder voices that we can get as women in those positions or at those tables, the more we'll be less afraid to take up space. I also think the second thing I was going to say is when we're in meetings and it's a room full of men and there's like 4 or 5 women and there's like 10 men, and it doesn't really matter the numbers. So if it's like 10 men, 10 women, okay? Most times I feel like there's very similar men to each other in the room. And I would say most times there's a lot of different women in the room. And I also think that's hard, because for men, they just come as they are. And most of the time they're similar. And when women, it's like, come as you are. Yeah. But we're afraid to, because the girl next to us is so different. Yep. And so when you don't see yourself, like this is when representation matters. Like when you don't see yourself in the room across from yourself, like I feel like we do really well in meetings together. Yeah. Because we're like, oh, we see ourselves in each other, and we're like, okay.
Well, we're so different, but we're also so similar.
Yes. Yeah. And I feel like we're not afraid then, because we're in the room. We're like, okay, there's someone like me. I'm good. But then when you're in a room and it's like just your kind of personality in the room by itself, it feels so isolated that you're like, how much room am I allowed to take up right now? But those are the 2 situations that I feel like sometimes it's in the DNA based off of leadership, and sometimes it's just by fluke in a meeting. But no matter what, you're reading who's around. And it does matter, unfortunately. That's where the comparison thing sucks for women too. Like I
think what I was gonna say. Like when you're in those rooms, you're trying to learn from the other women, but you're like, that's not me, so I can't do that. And you're like, how can I get there? And then that usually ends up biting one of you in the butt.
Like because guys can do that. Guys can like sit in a meeting room and they can take things from each other, and like especially if they're like-minded, they just take things from each other and
just
they
like pumping them up.
They're like, this is fueling me. Like I do the same thing. That's great. Rah! But girls are like, wait, if I do what you just did, that's going to change my entire personality. And we'll try to wear that hat for a minute, but it shrinks us, or it creates the imposter syndrome later. How does this show up in your relationships, marriage, motherhood, family dynamic, friendships, your life? How does this show up in your life?
I think for me, I have this weird, I'm in a weird season of life. Like, I'm 30 years old. I own a home. I'm single. I have a big girl job. Like, in most places, like, I'm up here. But, like, I don't feel like I'm up there.
Yeah.
So it's, like, this weird being, like, am I doing it right? Like the imposter syndrome was with myself, not with other people. Like, it happens in meetings and at work and those kind of situations. But, like, it happens being, like, am I doing it right? Like, am I supposed to be here? Like, you know, I don't know if I'm saying that in any.
It makes sense to me, but I don't know if it's because, and I don't think we've ever really talked about this, but like my season of life, married, have as a child, now a stay-at-home mom. That is not the life I ever wanted. I wanted your life. So like for me, like, I didn't want to be married, didn't want children, just wanted to be, I wanted to climb the ladder. And like,
but like society looks at you and be like, Brittany did everything right.
But like
she's
and like to me, so it's like weird when you talk about, because you've talked about this before, and like when you talk about having imposter syndrome of like, did I make it? Am I here? I'm like, oh, she made it. Like I feel like little Brittany in my mind is like, oh, Kaya's my role model. Like she did it, and like it's so strange because I feel like you're right. Like society has just made you feel like
you're behind.
Yeah. Which is not true. You are up here, but it's the world around you is just painted this picture of like, what does that look like?
She has an unfulfilling life because she's not married and doesn't have kids, and she works a full-time job, and she's the only name on her house, and like,
and the amount of days that I actually feel unfulfilled because all I'm doing is talking to a 2-year-old the whole day is like it doesn't matter where you, obviously the grass is always greener wherever you're looking and paying attention to, but I definitely feel like that's just not, it makes sense that you experience imposter syndrome because I do too, but it's like it's not true. It's just society's picture of what it's supposed to be.
Society wants to pin women against each other.
Or like I feel like in my world, like I grew up with very ambitious parents, and so like for me taking a step back, not having a job is like a failure. Is like, oh, I am lazy, I am not doing anything, I'm not contributing anything, and that's just not true. And so like it's just weird, like however you were taught or like painted a picture of what the world is supposed to be is how you think of it, and no matter what you experience imposter syndrome. But because mine shows up mostly in motherhood. I'm like, I'm a bad
well, that's probably a whole
mom.
different layer of imposter syndrome. Because you're like, am I failing my child?
It's gross.
Even though we just had a perfect day, I'm failing her.
Just had a perfect day. And I'm, or when she screams at you and you have an awful day, and then at the end of the day, she's like, love you, mama. And you're like, okay.
For you, not you.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, that's good. Did she get trauma from today? She's going to talk to her therapist about that for sure. No, it definitely is. But I do think it just comes up in all of our different moments, because I have it too with like our eldest daughter episode. Like I have it too as the oldest daughter. Like am I being a good big sister? Am I being a good daughter? Like we shouldn't have to worry about, we don't have to carry all that weight. We do.
We can just live our life, do the things we want to do.
Do you think imposter syndrome is tied to how you were seen or not seen growing up?
I think this goes back to what we were talking about earlier with being in new spaces versus old spaces. And I think that I only experience imposter syndrome in seasons that like I've been in for a while, like where I feel like I'm not living up to the expectation. So I don't think I really recognized it until I was a lot older, being like, this is something that is happening. So I don't really think I remember it happening when I was younger. Like even like thinking back to high school, I think I was just like a more confident person in general, and then the world beat me down.
Isn't that tragic though? No, but that's real. Like people don't talk about that because everyone will be, once you hit your 40s, you always hear these 40-year-old women, bless your souls, you guys are so sweet. But literally you always hear these 40-year-old women talk about like, when you get to your 30s, you just care less, and like your 20s are just hard and whatever. But like, and it's always very encouraging. Like the older you get, the more carefree you are and the more free you live, which is very reassuring, and I'm very optimistic for it. I want to get there. But I do think that that's not talked about enough, is like fresh out of high school, you're a new young adult, you're living on your own, and the world just beats you down. And it's like these 20-year-olds, we don't know what we're doing. I'm 26, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have a 2-year-old. Hello, who gave me that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just like we don't talk about how that's true. You think in high school, I'm so insecure, I don't know what I'm doing, and then you become an adult and you're like, oh, this is me not knowing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I was actually very confident when I was 16.
Yeah. I had a great plan for my life.
I knew exactly.
No,
yeah.
get back.
I knew exactly what was going to happen. And then, nope, that's not what happened. Yeah. Where are you currently showing up feeling like an imposter?
I don't think I'm knowingly walking into spaces being like, I don't belong here. I think it just happened, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it just happens when you're in it and you're like, oh.
It's usually like a moment in the situation that you're like, I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like I'm showing up as an imposter being like, I don't belong here. It's realizing that it's happening when I'm there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does it show up differently for you?
I think in this season right now, for me, it's like very much everywhere I go. I feel like it's just in the motherhood journey. Yeah. Like being a stay-at-home mom feels like such an imposter syndrome thing to me. Like, what am I doing? I'm like this wannabe stay-at-home mom. I'm like color coding all of her toys. And like, I really don't know what I'm doing. Which I think needs to be embraced more too. Like, yes, I have a 2-year-old and yes, she's lived to this point. And I feel like we've done a good job being full-time working parents with no childcare to this point. But now that I'm like stepping into this season, I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And I think that there's just weight of expectations on new moms and all moms to just have it figured out and know what they're doing. And I don't know why we act like that, because nobody
knows what they're doing.
Yeah, none of us know what we're doing. And I think it's better if my daughter knows that I know that I don't know what I'm doing than if I'm like pretending like I'm a good mom and I know everything, you know?
Well, and it's so weird too, because that pressure comes from other moms.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, in that situation, it's not coming from men. I feel like in a lot of other aspects, it comes from men.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that it's coming like mom to mom, being like, we all know what we're experiencing. Yeah. So it's like different than what we were saying before, like being in a room full of women versus
like that mom who shamed me at Target. I had a mom shame me at Target. It was the wildest experience of my life. I literally picked up she was like, ugh, these millennial moms. And I picked up my daughter and I was like, I'm a Gen Z mom. And I walked away. I literally almost got in a fist fight with a girl in Target. She's a mom. I was like, we're supposed to be on the same team. Yeah, it is very weird. And it's weird coming from corporate world that's like, and I know ministry is like not corporate, but I mean when you're in the inside it kind of is, but like a very corporate-y world that is a lot more men driving imposter syndrome to a world that's like women driving it. It's very strange. What would it look like to stay instead of shrink?
I think you have to recognize that it's happening. And I think that comes late a lot of the time. And it's just telling yourself that you are worthy and you do belong in that room, and that they wouldn't have invited you if they don't want you. They actually aren't doing pity invites most of the time. 99% of the time. It's not a pity invite. They want you in that room.
The 1% that they do it, ignore it. It doesn't even matter.
It does happen, but it's not worth thinking about. They do value your opinions. They want you there. And it's just, we have to get out of our own way.
And even if they don't, like, let's talk about the 1% for a second. Like, even if they don't want you, who cares? You got the invite and you know. You know your resume. You know what you're capable of. You don't even need their validation. It doesn't matter. And if you look around that room and there are other women, like, just know that they're probably feeling the same thing. I feel like that's very easy, like, to be like, okay, I can empathize. I can take a deep breath. They're on my side and it'll be fine.
I mean, it's calling it out and recognizing it. Like, we say all the time, we're like, oh, that was a token invite. Like, I was like, they're tokenizing that girl. Like,
women do know call it
out. And we know when it's happening. So we're like, we don't have to fake it if we recognize that.
But that's not shrinking either. Like, staying is confronting it. Staying is acknowledging it and confronting it. And then if you're shrinking too much, walking away from it. But there are moments and opportunities where you can help pave the way for it to not happen again. Because also, like, as much as it's easy to have female rage and be mad at men and whatever, they're also born into this world and they're not taught that they drive it. Like, my husband being a white guy, we've talked about this all the time, like the privilege that he has to walk into a meeting room, he never has to fight for a spot there. And I just think it's good for them to be aware of, but he had no idea. Like, he learned so much when I joined ministry and we got married, and he realized what was happening and he could see it better. And now he leads the team with the most women. Like,
and he asks questions.
Yeah.
And he like calls on women to speak in
Yeah.
the room, and
if they're
like,
not talking, he's very
aware
good at that.
of
Yeah.
those things. Yeah,
But I do think
but
like
not all men are like that.
you just have to teach them, and it's not, because that's what I was gonna say, they're not malicious.
Yeah.
No, I don't know any guys that are like, I hate women and I don't want them to have an opportunity.
Yeah.
I do know men who reject feedback and don't want to change. And I do think that's part of the problem too. Like if you're not willing to set aside your pride to say you're part of the problem, that's the problem. But yeah, I do think staying looks like knowing your worth enough to know that if you're shrinking too much, then it's time to go. And if you are staying, speak up and tell them and show them and hopefully change it. Not everybody wants to change, but hopefully.
Yeah.
And no change, but still leaving does leave a mark. Like they think about it, they reflect on it. It's a planting a seed for future change. So it's okay. Yeah. Why do we trust other people's perception of us more than God's placement of us?
Know that God has us in a place that he wants us in.
Yeah.
And we do have to just trust that and just be like, people's perception of me doesn't matter.
Yeah. And we've talked about this on the podcast too. Like it sucks to be misunderstood and it sucks to like be put in a box, but like Jesus isn't doing that.
Yeah.
Jesus didn't put you in a box.
I feel like the answer to this is just very Sunday school, being like, trust God. You're worthy and you matter.
Say it again and slower. It's like
during like COVID times, like that's when I first went into ministry. I like did this conference, and one of the speakers said like, God placed you here knowing that this was going to be happening. That was being like COVID. But I think that's so true about like any aspect of your life. Like God put you there at that time for a reason, and you just have to trust that. He's not going to set you up for failure. Like he wants you to win for the kingdom.
Yeah.
In any situation, if you're in ministry or not, just in normal life, like God wants us to win, and he wants to set us up for success. And he knew all the things that were going to go on.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's good to like know, because like there's people, like why do we trust other people's perception? Like people are involved. So like knowing that we're placed there by God, and also knowing that people are there and they might not have the same intention as God, or they might not have the same will for you as God's will for you. Like discerning that is important, but also knowing and understanding that God's going to use it no matter what. Like I've been in so many situations where it's like awful, just like awful, feels bad, isn't good for me. And I walk away from it, and it sucked for me, and I grieve, and I go through this and I go through that, and I don't feel like anyone else suffered, but like God's using it for me. And so like to think more, like less about them, because it's not even necessarily their perception of you as much as it is like no matter what, God's going to use it. Like you're there for a reason, and then when he tells you to move on, like move on, and he'll help you through the next thing. Like I don't know, I just think it's important to remember, yes, you're placed there by God, but there are also other people there. And people do sometimes suck, and sometimes they're great, and it's great, and God, everyone's on the same page, but also God's going to use it either way. It could be awful, and God's still like, I've got you. I'm holding on to you this whole time.
I'm still here.
Why do you think Jesus defended women who were seen as too much or out of place?
I think because that's how it's supposed to be. I think Jesus modeled it for us so that we had an example of what it looked like. To honor women, call women up.
I was thinking of the woman who, well, there's a couple women, obviously. There's a lot of stories in the Bible where I feel like women are just in what society would consider the wrong place at the wrong time. But Jesus is like, no, they're not. But I was thinking of the woman caught in adultery, and just how I feel like Jesus wasn't necessarily protecting her behavior as much as he was correcting the room's perception of her. Like he was very much like, you don't get to say this. And I think that's just really important. And that goes back to our last question too. Like you are placed there and God knows who you are, and those people don't have the right to have a perception of you. And I just think that's important to remember. But I do think Jesus does it a lot. There's a lot of stories.
Well, like Mary and Martha, he's like, she just needs to be here with me. You can do what society wants you to do and play those roles, but you really just need to be here with me. Like there's so many.
Or the woman with the alabaster jar. And she's like, everyone's like, what are you doing to him? And Jesus is like, excuse me, I'm having a minute. And she's doing the right thing. Like,
Or, the woman at the well. Did you say that one?
Like woman at the well.
He's like, I don't care about your past.
Yeah. He's like, are you hearing me?
Yeah.
I'm talking to you.
I'm talking to you.
I chose to talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would it look like to believe that Jesus actually wants us in those spaces or could use us in those places?
I mean, I think it's just reflecting on all those women in the Bible that we see Jesus actually doing that for, and being like, if Jesus did it for them, he's willing to do it for us.
Yeah. Finding yourself in the Bible, I think, is helpful. And I think too, just like remembering the timeless truths of them all, which is just that he sees them.
Yeah.
Like you might like, we're the vocal, bold,
Yeah.
like outspoken, leader oriented women in the room, but like you might be a more shy and meek woman in the room, and God still wants you there. Like he still sees you. You might not speak at all that meeting, and he still hears every thought.
Yeah.
Like your ideas matter. You're important. Your placement matters. Like you could be behind the scenes. I think this is a good illustration too. Like when you work at a church and there's a lead person, there's so many people behind that lead person before you see the lead person. And I think if you're one of the behind the scenes people, like you matter just as much. You know, it doesn't really matter what other people perceive as the best place. God has you there, and he's going to use you in that space. As corny as it is.
No, it's good. Yeah. No, the amount of times people have said to me, like, you just have to get comfortable being a number 2. I'm like, I am, but you're not. Like, I still am valued, and and I do just think, because you're calling me a number 2, I'm not a number 2. Like,
God doesn't actually rank people. It's gonna upset some people, but there is no 1 and 2s. I do think I think that's important to remember too. Like you can, this is where it goes back to the shrinking, like knowing that you can accept value. Like you should feel valued. If feeling imposter syndrome is different than feeling not valued. Those are 2 different things.
Imposter syndrome is being like, I do have value.
Yes.
And I have to fake it to fit in this room. And that's where that feeling comes from. So if you're feeling undervalued, that's a different conversation. And you're probably shrinking too much. Don't do that. You're not too loud. You don't take up too much space.
And honestly, who cares?
Take up as much space as you want.
What are they going to do? They're probably going to tell you not to do it again. Who cares? Do it again.
Do it again. Keep showing up as you.
Don't change who you are. I think that's really important. And that's how it gets poured into imposter syndrome, is when you start changing who you are, and you start like, because you have glimpses of remembering who you are. You're like, oh, this isn't who I am. What am I doing? I just think that's good. That's all we've got today.
That's what we got.
Imposter syndrome. Don't fake who you are.
Show up as you.
Love yourself. Live, laugh, love.
Do some mirror.
I actually like those. Mirror self-affirmation.
I am worthy. I am loved.
Give yourself a little pep talk in the bathroom at work. We've done that.
Oh, I do that all the time. I literally will go into the bathroom at work and be like, I can do hard things. And then I go back.
No, I think it's really good. I think the thing that Dustin's really good at ingraining in, is that the right word? Ingraining. The thing that Dustin's really good at ingraining in Remy is whenever she goes to do anything hard, he'll go, you are so capable. Makes me melt every time. And I hope one day when she's in a meeting room and someone's like making her feel imposter syndrome, she's like, I am capable. Like she just hears her dad's voice be like, no, my dad told me that I'm capable.
That's cute.
Well, anyways, stay tuned for next week, Wednesday.
See
you later. Oh, and
you just subscribe.
Softball it. Just straight hard toss. Also,
like, comment, subscribe.
We don't want to be weird, but you guys should subscribe if you're listening. We have a lot of viewers and a lot of listeners
that aren't subscribed.
That are not subscribed. So subscribe. Stay tuned. Next week, Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Episode 9.
Goodbye.